In this video I'm going to show you how to create both Adidas and YeezySupply tasks. So first you're going to have to create a new task group. To do so, click the blue button at the top left. Give the task group a name. You can name this whatever you want, however I recommend doing it dependent on the shoe that's releasing or the site that this task group's for, just so if you have multiple task groups down the left hand side you can differentiate between them with ease. Once you've given it a name, select the site, I'll be showing Adidas right now, and then click the blue create group button. Once you've created it, you've got this task group and you'll be ready to use the task creator to create some tasks. Click the blue task creator button and it will bring up the input. First, for region, you'll want to select the region that you're running for. I'll be testing now on UK. Next, you'll need the product ID. For a product that's already on the site, this is simply at the end of the URL. In this case, it's F36641. This isn't always possible to get so easily by going to the product page, because for example on a Yeezy there won't be a product page like this. So in that case I would suggest looking in our Discord, as we'll have release guides for the releases and it will include the product ID you should use. Once you've put that in here, you'll be ready to select the sizes that you want. You can choose random if you don't mind what size you get and you want any size that's loaded. If not, you can choose which sizes you want. For example, if I want it between size 3 and 6, I could simply tick all of the sizes between 3 and 6. If I wanted more, I could keep going all the way up to 8 for example, or if I only wanted specific sizes, I could select and deselect so I've just got the sizes that I want to go for. Next is mode. 90% of the time you'll want to choose splash. Splash is when there's a waiting room, such as for Yeezy releases. First come first served is for when there's an item just sitting on the site like this. So for testing purposes you'll usually be using first come first served, as you're using an item that's just already on the site, but actually for releases you'll be using splash most of the time as you'll be in the waiting room. I'm going to choose first come first served now as I'm just testing. Next is the proxy list. You'll have already loaded the proxies you're going to use into the proxies tab on the left, so here you can choose which proxy list you want to use. If you want to use no proxies, you can choose the first one, no proxy, use localhost, but you can only run a couple of tasks on this, so during a release you'll be choosing the proxy list you're going to use. Next is billing profile. When you first select this drop down, it will show you all the billing groups that you've already created, and then if you click on a billing group, it will show you the profiles within that billing group. Within the billing group, you can choose the all option, which means it will create a task with all profiles within that group. So here where I've got 2 profiles and select all, it will be using both of these profiles. But if I didn't want to use all of them and wanted to only select one, I can do so here. The same with these others. I could either choose whether I wanted to perhaps only use the first and the third and not use the second, or if I wanted to use them all, I can select all. For this example, I'm just going to create one, so I'm going to use my UK test profile. Next is scheduling. For Adidas, you won't really want to use scheduling, as you'll want to start tasks yourself manually once the stock is live. You'll usually be pinged in the Discord once the stock is live, and that will be when you start your tasks, so for Adidas you don't need to worry about scheduling. Next is quantity, and this is simply how many tasks you're going to create. It's worth noting that this creates one task for each billing profile you've selected. So because I've got the quantity set to 1 and I only selected one profile here, it's only going to create one task. But if I selected, for example, 10 billing profiles and had this to 1, it would be 10. And if I selected 10 billing profiles and set the quantity to 10, it will create 100 tasks, because it's going to multiply the quantity by how many billing profiles you have. So for this example, I'm just going to create 5 tasks with my 1 test profile and then click create tasks. The tasks have now been created and I'll be ready to run them. Now that we've created the tasks, I'll show you some of the options you can use. So to edit a task, if you want to change the billing profile, the PID, the mode, or any of the sizes, you can simply click the grey edit button, then save the task once you've made your edits. You can also delete tasks using the red trash icon on the right. To start tasks separately, you can use the single green button that is located to the right of each task, or you can start all tasks using the green start all button. Once they're all started, you can also stop all with the red button, or you can edit all. If you realise, for example, you got the product ID on all of the tasks wrong, you can click the edit all button, which will again bring up the task editor and you'll be able to change the product ID. You can also clear all the tasks with the red button at the top. and make use of the import and export feature, which will either import or export all of the tasks that you've currently created. So if I wanted a friend to run for me, or if I wanted to change machines, I could click the export button and save all of my tasks as a file to the desktop. Then I could download Sole on my new machine or on my server and use the import button and select the file that I exported to bring all my tasks in. You can also edit the task group by clicking the white pencil icon at the top to simply change the name and then save the group, and you can also delete the entire group by clicking the red trash icon. You can also make use of some of the right click functionality, so by right clicking on a task I can either start it, stop it, edit it, duplicate it or delete it. I can also select multiple tasks by using Control or simply dragging down, and then for example I would be duplicating these 3 tasks because I'm selecting them and then duplicating them. Or I can make use of Control, select different tasks and then duplicate them. You can also make use of the search function here. You can search by quite a lot of properties to be able to narrow down tasks. So for example, you can search by product. So it won't make much use here as I'm only using one product ID, but if I was running for multiple products I could search by this product ID and it would narrow them down. I can also search by proxy list, so if I have proxies that are failing I can narrow down just them and then use the edit all button to edit only the ones where the proxies are failing. I can search by status, so if I wanted to see all of my declines or my success I could search in here, for example success or failed. Obviously, as I haven't run any tasks here, nothing's been returned, but you can use this search function to narrow down tasks, which will be especially useful if you're running quite a lot of tasks on a release. I'm also going to show you YeezySupply real quick, so to do so click New Task Group to create a new task group. I'm going to name it accordingly, just so I will be able to tell between the two in the tasks group, and then choose the YeezySupply option. I've now created this new group and I'll go back to the task creator. Everything is the same here as Adidas, apart from not having to choose the region because YeezySupply is only one region. Apart from that, everything's the same, so you can enter your product ID, size, mode, proxy list, billing profile, scheduling, which again you don't need for YeezySupply, and then quantity of tasks and create the tasks. Everything else is the same as Adidas, where you can start all, stop all, edit all, clear the tasks, import and export, use a search function, and then rename or delete the entire list.